first of all, I want to apologize for the terrible lighting that you see. It's been gloomy for the past couple days, so it's pretty dark outside, so the lighting here is kind of terrible, even with the windows open and the lamp on. So I'm gonna try my best here. So here I am this morning. I just woke up at like 10 o'clock because it's Sunday, and I'm scrolling through my YouTube to see what the news is for the day, and I found that the Love Live channel released a new update video, basically telling you, hey, what's going on in the Love Live world. And for today, it was mainly Nijigasaki news. You hear news from the All-Stars game. Basically, the very last song from the anime is getting, or finally has a video to be put with the dance of the game. People were excited about that, but that was not the kicker of it all. At the very end of the video, some videos, they always put the most important thing as the last thing to be talked about in the video. And the audio is mainly music, so they don't really talk in these videos, but there are some, things in the dialogue of the video that people might understand what's happening, and based on, teaser pictures that you can get an idea of what's happening. I don't really brag on my channel because I think, as we all know, bragging can sometimes be inappropriate for certain occasions, so I try my best not to offend people on my channel with bragging rights and all that whatnot. But based on the video I watched today, and based on the conversations I've had with friends on social media and Discord and stuff like that, I wanted to make something very, very clear. Nijigasaki is getting a season 2. I knew it, 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 I knew it! Now we all know that, yes, the pattern is going to continue on, even with the Nijigasaki quote-unquote side project, that the show is getting a season 2, and everyone is hyped up about it. So from what I've read, the anime won't exactly come out until 2022, which is understandable because we literally just had the first season of the anime come out last fall, and it's gonna take a while for them to basically create a story for the season 2 arc. What people are very excited for now that a season 2 is coming out is people are like, when's Shioriko going to show up? Because as we all know, Shioriko is an official member of the group and has been for quite a while now. If the anime doesn't add the fact that Shioriko isn't now in the group, I don't understand what would, or what would compel them to not add that. And people are also hoping that Longzhu and Mia would also appear in the anime at some point, hopefully early on with Shioriko, so we now have, or so we can begin, the three of them dynamic. I don't want this whole video to be about what I hope would happen with the whole Shioriko, Longzhu, and Mia arc of the thing, because that video would probably take forever. But what I do hope for is that their story, if Longzhu and Mia are in it, would be a lot more interesting and a lot less spiteful than what we got in the game, because people are still hating on the game at this moment, and Love Live even knows themselves that the fans are not happy with how the game is going. So with that said, if Nijigasaki is going to have the rival Love Live group arc that could possibly ruin the Nijigasaki School Idol Club, that type of angle, I would hope that Shioriko would still have to go through that, there's a reason her, kind of not liking school idols thing. At the same time, she's kind of has to tell Longzhu, hey, you kind of have to shut the hell up right now. Mia has her arc, because the only arc that is done appropriately in the All-Stars game was Mia's, because she comes from this very rich, very musical, talented family, and for those of you who have never played the game, there was one point in her life where she kind of screws up, and it slightly ruins her family's reputation with her screw-up thing. So I would love for her to have that, and hopefully Longzhu kind of still has her bitchiness, but it's less to the point that, or maybe not less to the point, but what I want to counteract to that is maybe Shioriko would have more of a backbone, and that you in the story would also have more of a backbone, because in the game, oh my god, they portray the narrated characters so terribly. I'm hoping that Yu-chan in the anime has more of a backbone and is more like Hanukkah and Chika in a sense where they don't want to give up. Because if I swear to god, if any of these characters are like shying away and basically try to pull off a Hanukkah at the end of season 1 where she wants to quit, like, can we get a moment where one of the characters, more particularly either Setsuna or Kasumi, walks up to you and slaps her in the face like Umi does to Hanukkah in that moment, because that would be absolutely great. Because if there's one thing or one person that I've changed my mind about since the start of this whole thing, it was Kasumi, because at least Kasumi is like, I worked my butt off to make sure this school idol club keeps going, and Setsuna almost ruined it, and if you try to ruin it next for me, I will be extra pissed. And you know what? I actually like Kasumi for that. At least they kept her character from that going. Like, I could do a whole video on what my hopes are for season 2, and I'm not sure if I want to touch upon that. But what I do want to touch upon for the moment is that Love Live does have a pattern on when they ever bring a new idol group onto their scene. Like, I do believe that they have this very, not strict, but this pattern in order to promote their girls, and I am 100% sure as heck that they're gonna do this for Layla when Love Live Superstar comes out. And this has been established basically ever since Muse. So, what I've noticed with these girls is that ever since Muse, first, the group is announced. 2, they release a couple of singles. It gets the girls' discography started up. Then after like 1 or 2 years or something, because if Muse was debuted in 2010, and then the anime I think came out in 2012 or 2013, at least the first season I think it was 2012. It basically gave them a span of 2 years to build up their reputation in the idol industry. And how the idol industry works, it's kind of like J-pop and K-pop are kind of in the same realm of this. It's they work very quickly. It's that they would release a new song or a new mini album like maybe once a month or something like that. Like, it could be in a span of 2 months at most, but like every month they would release a new song to make sure that the audience remembers who these girls are. And usually with this pace of releasing these amount of songs, it's enough to promote anime material. Like, this worked out for Muse when they first came out. They basically built up this formula. This worked for Love Live Sunshine more so because Aquas is still pretty much going with this formula. Muse not so much, because this is what comes in where Muse is as an exception, because I know a couple of their members had like health scares and stuff like that, so they couldn't really promote as much. With Aquas, they're the prime example of this. Aquas debuted in 2014, which was when I think this was also at the same time when School Idol Project released the movie for the Muse girls. I think it's around that same time. So Aquas comes out. They released a couple of songs, and then I think, because I was in college when the anime came out, so I think it was 2015, 2016, they released the first season of the anime. 2017, I don't know. I think it was 2017, the second season of the anime comes out, and then I think a year later after that, they released the movie. I think they only had one movie. For some reason, I'm thinking, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Muse had 2 movies, and I think Aquas only had 1. Correct me if I'm wrong, but now I'm thinking Muse only had 1 movie. The only ones who don't have movies yet are obviously Nijigasaki and Layla, because Layla just debuted, and Nijigasaki obviously has their season 2 coming out right now. So, speaking of Nijigasaki, I think because Love Live gave us the impression that Nijigasaki is just a side project that, number one, we were not originally supposed to get an anime out in the first place, but due to popular demand, Love Live decided, you know what, let's just give them an anime because it's basically been Love Live tradition at this point. Tradition being that they only had 2 groups at the time. Yeah, originally Nijigasaki was never supposed to get an anime because the side project of Nijigasaki, the appeal of the girls was that they were all solo idols competing against each other. So I'm guessing their thought process was, how do we make an anime out of that? But then in 2020, they released season 1 of the anime, and it turned out to be extremely well because yes, they're all solo idols competing against each other. They acknowledge this in the show, but at the same time, they're all friends. They all help each other achieve their goals in the club specifically. So I believe they did this as perfectly as they can, and I loved the story, how season 1 panned out. So with that said, people were starting to get skeptical of, will there be a season 2? Because, like I said originally, season 1 was never supposed to happen. But due to high demand, it happened anyway, and it was kind of a last-minute thing, because they're like, oh, we never had plans for Nijigasaki anyway, so even though they wrote up a story pretty quickly, I do believe the story was wrote pretty well. But now, I think, due to expectations of the fandom in this case, and due to the past traditions of the previous girls, I think they are finally treating Nijigasaki as a main project of sorts, because if they really wanted to treat Nijigasaki like a side project, I don't think fans would be begging for a season 2 of the show. If season 1 did so well, how could they not do a season 2? At least that's what I thought. And I've had conversations with people who are saying, like, season 2 is never gonna happen. It's a side project. They ended season 1 pretty well, so it's not like with the other girls, they kind of ended off on a slight cliffhanger. Lo and behold, according to that video I saw today, they are releasing a season 2, and the promo pic that they put for the season 2 announcement is glorious. It's Yu-chan sitting at the piano while at the Tokyo Bridge, and it's absolutely gorgeous looking. Like, you can tell that they are preparing for something big with that promo pic, that they're gonna continue Yu's arc of finding herself within the idol support role, and I really can't wait for it. And people also can't wait for please add Shioriko. Not a lot of fans are caring for Longzhu and Mia as much, even though I have seen comments of that in particular, but most people are anticipating Shioriko's role, because as of what we know right now, Shioriko is an official member of Nijigasaki, and an anime without her in particular would be absolute nonsense. And I agree with them 100%. Like, if in season 2 they don't add Shioriko for whatever reason, I'm like, okay, so what was the point? So with that side of things, I think at this point I don't know if Love Live will ever want to add another side group at this point, or quote-unquote side group, because with Nijigasaki, it started out as a side project, but now they become an official part of the Love Live lore in a sense. I think Nijigasaki, crawled so Love Live Superstar and Layla could run. Because now we're getting, sometime this year, I think it's summer or fall, I can't remember, we're finally getting the Layla anime, which they just released the teaser trailer for, and let me tell you, the animation to that is absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to see the show, and we get to or they introduce the seiyus of each of the girls in every scene, even though it may not be much dialogue because this video is or the preview is only like 30 seconds long. But I am very much looking forward to this. I am reading more into the Layla lore, and I just found out that they, like, the lore of the school that they're in, I can't pronounce their name to save my life. This school was formerly a very popular school, but then they had to close down due to lack of student enrollment, which of course had for Love Live School Out Project and Sunshine, that was their basic plot. It was saving their schools from closing because of lack of enrollment, which we all know that for Muse, they were successful in, but for Aquas, they were not successful in that. So basically the school closed down for a bit due to the lack of enrollment, but one of the girls, or one of the future Layla girls' mothers, restarted the school for, I don't know how, but I think she like got the funds to restart the school and to basically build anew. And according to what I read, this school literally just reopened. So everyone attending in that school is all a first year. Because hey, if a school just opened, I don't think they're gonna grab like students from different schools, especially if that number is gonna be much smaller, to be upperclassmen, because if we're gonna talk about realistic, logical sense, I don't think they would have the staff or the, I don't know, supplies to supply the demand of upperclassmen in those schools just yet, because if a new school like that just reopened, I don't think a lot of upperclassmen are gonna transfer like that, because it would probably be more difficult. But besides the point, every student in the school is a first year, so this is the first time ever that we're gonna have a group that they're all in the same class. And when I did my video on Layla's first single, It All Started With Your Sky, I thought the significance of having all the girls be first years was because, hey, this is gonna be the first time that they're all gonna be at equal level, discussing things and figuring out how the group is going to work. And I also thought this was significance for they're all going to be relatable to each other, because hey, if they're all first years, or if they're all on the same level as each other, they could all express like what their end goals are much easier than they would if they had a third year, second year, first year system like the previous three groups had. Maybe that's still a thing. Maybe the significance is still there, but now they just have the plot point of, oh, there's a school that just reopened, so everyone has to be a first year by convenience. Which, it's fine. Like, for story convenience, I think that's fine. I mean, it's definitely a lot more original than we had previously. Because we never had a Love Live story where the Love Live group was created literally in the school's first year of enrollment and of teaching period. We never had something like that. So I'm really curious what they're going to do with that plot. That's pretty much what I wanted to discuss today. So because Layla is obviously a part of the main series, we all know that Layla is going to get a second season of the show, because it's now real public expectation that Love Live has to accomplish. But now but this is also the first time too that two anime series are gonna go on at the same time. Well, sort of. Because Nijigasaki had season 1. Now we have Superstar season 1 approaching. We're gonna get Nijigasaki season 2. And then some point down the line, probably also 2022, but I don't know, we're gonna get a Love Live Superstar season 2. That's just a thing that's going to happen. And maybe somewhere down the line, Nijigasaki is gonna get their own movie, which people would definitely be excited for. And who knows, maybe the movie has the Longzhu plot point, but again, we don't know. So, and we can't basically read the minds of the Love Live franchise here, because at the very end of the day, they're the ones who get to choose what plot point goes where, and whether they want to add that plot or not. And we have literally no idea what the story of the Layla girls are, so that's going to be very highly anticipated, and this is gonna be the first time, or I am not sure if they're gonna surprise us with more Layla singles, because we only had the It All Started With Your Sky mini album where it gifted us 4 songs, that one included, so I hope they do release more songs before the anime, and they're kind of not a spoiler to what's going to be the opening and the ending of the show. Well, meaning the opening and ending songs, to clarify. So, I hope we do get more Layla content, and I hope at least we get more proper Nijigasaki material. It's been a while since we had, like, new songs from the Nijigasaki girls. Like, the newest songs, if I recall correctly, are literally from the anime, which is not a bad thing, but those were the last new songs that we got from them. So, they're probably gonna do the same thing. They're gonna hype up the season. They're gonna have more song material, I hope, because they really want to get people excited. And I think the most important thing of the matter that they realized was the anime gives, I think, the most promotion, because an anime, well, like a song, you can play over and over and over again, but the anime gives a canon story to each of the Love Life girls. It gave us reasons why we loved Muse. It gave us reason why we loved Arise, even though they didn't have a story continuance, they didn't have an official group, even though Love Life wanted to, but the Arise girls kind of wanted to do their own thing, which was fine. They gave us Aquas, they gave us Saint Snow, which now they're an official Love Live group, even though they had that only one single too. They gave us Nijigasaki, they gave us, now they're giving us Layla. They're officially giving us the lore in anime form, which makes it so relatable and so like, and canon's not the word I want to use, but it's a permanent story. It's a permanent story that everyone's gonna be referencing. Because, yeah, they had manga and stuff come out, but people look at it kind of like, what, like, they don't understand why the manga is so different from the anime that clearly established these girls' personalities so well. And the anime has always done well in this regard. It's always given us, like a valid standing. Like, the anime is more equivalent to the mini stories of the Love Live games that we played more than the manga does. And I don't know why that is, but I think that's another video for another day. And I think I've rambled way long enough about this, so if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure you hit the like button, and if you guys have any comments and want to start a conversation, please hit me up in the comments down below. It's greatly appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't done so already. I'm Cait, Cher, and it's been real. Ciao!